As we near the end of this month of Black History, it is important to remember we have a future as well. For Dr. King's dream was a vision of tomorrow, of how things could be if each and every one of us would accept the challenge of creating a better world for our children. Tonight, we've paid small tribute to those men and women who realize our children are the future. Our children are the dream. Officer James E. Davis.
A 13-year-old boy killed, shot in a shadowy stairwell of a Brooklyn housing project. A housing cop thought the youngster's toy was a real gun.
I'm the police officer that got Toys R Us to stop selling look-alike toy guns. A little boy named Nicholas Haywood was shot and killed by a police officer in Gowanus Projects in Brooklyn because he had what appeared to be a look-alike toy gun.
Officer James E. Davis not only got these guns taken off the shelves, but has campaigned tirelessly within the police department and his Brooklyn community to raise consciousness.
I try to teach the police officers now to reach out to the community at large. Knock on that door. What I found that the community's on one side of the street doing one thing and the police department's on the other side of the street doing another. What we've got to do is build the lines of communication again, come together and work together to address the problems in the community. Rather than the police department sitting on one side and saying, I have all the answers, and the community sitting on the other saying, we have all the answers. Let's come together and let's work out our own problems. And that's the problem of criming out in different neighborhoods.
When Toys R Us pulled all the lifelike guns from their store shelves, why, it was a tremendous grassroots success for my next guest here. He is the founder of Love Yourself, Stop the Violence. I'd like you to welcome New York City police officer James Davis. I'm just gonna throw it out to you guys. Just tell me, when you listen to the lyrics, you see the impression that it makes on 12-year-olds, your gut reaction is what?
Here we go.
Okay.
As a New York City police officer in Brooklyn, where I'm from, Bed-Stuy as well, I organize a Stop the Violence march through our neighborhood. I'm tired of seeing us killing us. We get mad when the other community does it to us and we're marching their neighborhood. It's time for us to be responsible and stand up against what we're doing to ourselves. Now, our beautiful artists are in a position to send a message to our people, a message of deliverance, a message of prosperity, a message of rise up, you mighty people. Then why open up your legs and show us in a negative light? Stand up and let your light so shine. You're beautiful. Their message should be a message that is beautiful. 12-year-old girls listening, you can tell them all you want. Don't do it. If your mother's smoking cigarettes in front of the children are going to smoke the cigarettes. So represent with your lifestyle. And these radio stations, just one last thing. These radio stations. Now, Debbie Does Dallas, a Rated XXX video, should not be on a Nickelodeon station. It should not be viewed by children. And Little Kim said something, and I support her, and I'm glad she said it. She said, this is not made for children. So let us all rise up and hold these radio stations accountable. How can you have a rating system in the movie? How can you have a rating system on television and there's no rating system on the radio? How can you have a discretion label on a record and then that same record is played during the hours when children are listening? Let's wake up, America. Adults, do what you want to do. We're not targeting adults. We're talking about the children. So remember one thing, if nothing else, it takes an entire village to raise a child. I don't have children, but all the children are mine. I don't have a family like this man, but all the children are mine. We must all take an active role in raising all the children. That young man on that street corner, that's my son. That's my brother. We must all take an active role. A message that violence is wrong. I went to a couple of people and I said, come on out to the Stop the Violence rally. And they said, I'll try to make it. And I asked them, I said, when you lose a loved one and it's time to go to the funeral, do you try to make it to the funeral? They said, I'll make the funeral. I'll take off from work to make the funeral. I'll do whatever necessary to make the funeral. But I'm only going to try to make it to your Stop the Violence rally. Something is wrong with us as a people when we make the funeral after the fact. And we put flowers all around the coffin, flowers that the deceased cannot smell. And then we as a people will not rise up to speak out against violence. Something is wrong with our minds. But today we march through our community and we say to us, love yourself, stop the violence. Now we're here on the eve of a terrible incident. I am a New York City police officer. 17 years ago, standing right there, I came out my mother's house to move my mother's car. 2 NYPD police officers put guns at my head, put me in handcuffs, slammed my head down on the back of the car, put me in the police car, drove me down to the 7-1 precinct. I vowed then to become a police officer. I since then became a police officer, became a police academy instructor, and trained those cops' children that did that dastardly deed to me. I turned a negative into a positive. I am so honored to be here as I march through Howard Beach with the Reverend Al Sharpton, as I march through Bensonhurst with the Reverend Al Sharpton. Now we march in our own neighborhood and we say to our own black brothers and sisters, selling drugs in our community will no longer be tolerated. You are a black man and you selling drugs in my community, you are a seller. You are worse than the police officer that comes and abuses my people. For you should know better. But you make the excuse. You say we didn't bring the drugs into America. What kind of excuse is that? Because they give you drugs, you sell it to your brother, you are a seller. Because they give you the guns, you take the guns and shoot your brother, you are a seller. Wake up! Don't get involved in that drug dealing. I'll never tell a young man to stop selling drugs and go to work at McDonald's. I'll tell a young man, stop selling drugs, go to school, and learn how to work the stock market. And make yourself $14 million a year like Bill Gates. We are the